He surpassed even the polls' predictions, garnering 30% of the vote. Longtime Liberal Congressman Bob Filner will be in the mayoral runoff this November. He joins me now. Congratulations, Congressman.
Thank you. You know, it's kind of humbling to be in a runoff for mayor of the 8th biggest city in the country, a city where I grew up in. So it's kind of humbling to be there.
And actually all throughout the night, even with early returns, you were clearly in second place. It really wasn't that close between you and Nathan Fletcher. So what were you thinking all the way through? Because that was really the race people were watching for second place.
Well, we did some early polling, and it was almost exactly the way it turned out. So we knew we had a lot of confidence that we would be in the runoff. I was still trying to surpass Mr. DeMaio, and maybe there's 100,000 or something provisional votes. So who knows what will finally be the final thing. But I think people responded to the kind of experience I have, in that nobody who's ever run for mayor in San Diego has been as well prepared as me. I mean, I've been on the school board.
Even though you got criticism, even on this show, that you weren't prepared. So obviously you're getting the last laugh on this.
Yeah, well, look, I've been on the school board and been school board president. I've been twice elected to city council and been deputy mayor, 10 times elected to Congress, been the chairman of the Veterans Affairs Committee. You don't get into those positions without doing things and without having the confidence of your peers and the electorate. And I think people respond to that. You know, I can't go anywhere in this city for a couple blocks without someone coming up to me and saying, "You helped me with the immigration problem," or "You helped me with this veterans issue," or "You gave my child his diploma in high school." So I think that's the secret weapon. When you have served people for 3 decades, those people remember that.
I want to move forward to your strategy now for the general election, because if we look at who placed 3rd and 4th, Nathan Fletcher, Bonnie Dumanis, one would argue their positions on major issues in terms of the city of San Diego are closer aligned to Carl DeMaio. How are you going to convince them to vote for you when your position is quite different?
You know, Mr. DeMaio never got above a certain ceiling. I mean, he was polling at 30% approximately the whole campaign. That is, he didn't move up or down. So he has a base. I think the people who voted for Mr. Fletcher, Ms. Dumanis, are people who are looking for a common sense approach to things. I think I offer that. I think we'll get the vast majority of their votes, because I'm going to come with a very pragmatic sense of what we're going to do for the future of San Diego. And I will tell you personally, and I know it's true with Mr. Fletcher, he and Mr. DeMaio did not get along. And I think his supporters felt that hostility, and I'm not sure they could vote for Mr. DeMaio. So we're looking, I talked to Nathan today. We're going to get together next week. We'll see.
You can ask for his endorsement?
I'm going to ask for his endorsement, and we're going to see that if we can get the vast majority of his supporters. But I think people want solutions. They don't want ideology. They want to know about jobs. They want to know about the environment. They want to know about livable cities. These are not ideological issues.
We're out of time, but I want to ask you just quickly. I know that you joked throughout the campaign that Nathan Fletcher could come work for you if you become mayor. You're going to ask for his endorsement. Do we see maybe an alliance there happening?
I mean, I hope so. That is, I think he was a very good candidate. Obviously, someone who has a real future. I would like to help him become a more progressive candidate and so join our administration.
Congressman Filner, thanks for being here.
Thank you.